Boxing has always been rightfully considered the bloodiest and most ruthless sport in the world. A savage arena where violence is celebrated and only the strongest survive. But even in a place this brutal, there exist warriors who did not just fight, they turned the ring into a stage, transforming bloodshed into pure spectacle. These were the fighters who danced with danger, mocked their opponents, and entertained crowds while dealing out punishment. Some loved them, some hated them, but nobody could deny their brilliance. The first chapter belongs to Ben Whittaker, a man who became known only recently, but by 2024 was already considered one of the most promising young prospects in boxing. His opponent, the experienced Khaled Gradia, stepped in, hoping to hand Whittaker his first defeat to change the sacred zero on his record. But when the opening bell rang, it was immediately clear this night would be a one-man show. Whittaker dug Gradia's grave with his fists. He slipped every shot that came his way, countering with a confidence that bordered on arrogance. His defense was watertight, his hands blisteringly fast. Gradia could do nothing but block punches with his own face. Round after round, the punishment grew. Swelling appeared. Demoralization set in. Gradia, once eager, now looked like a man trapped in a nightmare. Whittaker's combinations weren't just effective, they were stylish, laced with swagger, delivered with the showmanship of a man who knew he was untouchable. The crowd roared with every strike, and eventually the referee stepped in to stop what had become a public execution. Whittaker walked out with another victory, another highlight reel, and another warning to the boxing world. A new king was coming. But long before Whittaker, one man pioneered the art of showmanship inside the ring. That man was Emmanuel Augustus, the drunken master. Fans knew him not only for his skills, but for his wild, unpredictable movements that turned fights into spectacles. Against Ray Oliveira, Augustus showed exactly why he earned his nickname. From the very first seconds, he activated his dance mode. He spun, he twisted, he taunted, dodging punches with bizarre movements that seemed more suited for a dance floor than a fight. Yet somehow it worked. Augustus slipped blows with ease, making Oliveira swing at shadows. He landed sharp counters while spinning on his heels, mesmerizing the audience and infuriating his opponent. Oliveira tried to keep his composure, but Augustus's antics disarmed him mentally as much as his punches did physically. Dodging shots better than Floyd Mayweather dodged taxes, Augustus kept complete control. Eventually, Oliveira, unable to cope with the humiliation, quit. And Augustus, always the performer, didn't hide his disgust at such a surrender. For him, the ring wasn't just combat, it was art, and his opponent had failed to play his part. Every boxing fan also knows Prince Naseem Hamed, the flamboyant showman who turned every fight into theater. By the time he faced Jose Badillo, Naseem was already a legend for his ring entrances and explosive knockouts. But in this fight, he put on one of his most dazzling performances. From the start, he slipped punches with his cat-like reflexes, almost daring Badillo to try harder. Then he began to dance. Hands dropped, chin out, body swaying to his own rhythm. To the untrained eye, it looked reckless. To those who understood boxing, it was calculated brilliance. Badillo tried to turn Hamed's dance into a wrestling match, clinging to him, smothering his movement. But it only made things worse. Naseem unleashed corkscrew uppercuts, looping hooks, and lightning counters that rocked Badillo again and again. Blood flowed. The crowd erupted. Eventually, Badillo's corner had seen enough. They threw in the towel to save their fighter, leaving Naseem with another victory and another night of unforgettable entertainment. If Hamed embodied flamboyance, Roy Jones Jr. embodied dominance. He wasn't just a showman. He was a living cheat code. In 2000, Jones faced Richard the Destroyer Hall, a giant with frightening knockout power. Hall looked every bit the monster, but once the bell rang, Jones treated him like a plaything. In the first round, Jones dropped Hall with a vicious right hand. Hall got up, but Jones was already grinning, toying with him like a cat with its prey. Hall tried to fight back, even mocked Jones with his own taunts. But it was a mistake. Jones unleashed his full arsenal, darting in and out with speed no one could match, throwing punches from angles Hall couldn't see. Every second that passed was another demonstration of Jones's superiority. He beat Hall to the body, to the head, punished him until the beating became uncomfortable to watch. The referee eventually stepped in, saving Hall from further humiliation. Roy Jones Jr. walked away, not just with a win, but with another reminder of why he was the ultimate example of an athlete who could dominate while entertaining. But if Jones was the king of the 2000s, Muhammad Ali was the eternal legend. His name echoes through history, his legacy larger than the sport itself. In 1966, Ali faced Cleveland Williams, a dangerous challenger with immense power. What happened that night is still remembered as one of the greatest performances in boxing history. From the opening bell, Ali floated like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. His footwork was poetry, his punches pure music. Every combination drew gasps from the audience as he dismantled Williams piece by piece. Ali's speed was overwhelming. His timing, perfect. Williams, strong and determined, had no chance. By the third round, Ali landed a brutal series of punches that forced the referee to stop the fight. It was more than a victory. It was a masterpiece. That night, Muhammad Ali didn't just prove he was the best. He showed that boxing could be beautiful. He showed why he would forever be the greatest. If Ali gave us poetry, then Michael "Venom" Page brought pure theater. Known in MMA as the ultimate showman, Page carried his flamboyant style into the boxing ring. Against Miroslav Cieślak, Page didn't just fight. He performed. Hands low, movements exaggerated, taunts constant. He looked like a man dancing rather than boxing. But behind the showmanship was real danger. Early in the fight, he landed a clean right hand that sent Cieślak to the canvas. The crowd gasped as the pole somehow stood up again, but it was only a matter of time. Page measured him, played with him, and then unleashed a brutal right hand that folded Cieślak's legs underneath him. The referee waved it off. Another knockout. Another performance. Another reminder that Michael "Venom" Page was more than a fighter. He was an entertainer who blurred the line between sport and spectacle, and that's the thread that ties them all together. Ben Whittaker, Emmanuel Augustus, Prince Nassim Hamed, Roy Jones Jr., Muhammad Ali, Michael "Venom" Page, each one of them understood something most fighters never grasp. Boxing isn't just about pain. It isn't just about blood. It isn't just about winning. It's about the crowd, about putting on a show, about making people feel something unforgettable. Some called them arrogant. Some called them clowns. But history calls them legends. Because while most fighters fought for victory, these men fought for glory, and for the spectacle that made boxing more than a sport. They made it art, so the question remains, who was the greatest dancer in the ring? Was it Ali, the poet of the sweet science? Was it Roy Jones Jr., the untouchable cheat code? Was it Prince Nassim, the flamboyant firecracker? Or was it Emmanuel Augustus, the drunken master who turned madness into brilliance? The answer depends on who you ask. But one thing is undeniable. They all turned the savage arena of boxing into a stage. They all proved that brutality could be beautiful. And they all left us with performances that will never be forgotten. Because in the end, boxing is entertainment. And these men were the entertainers who made fighting into theater.